So Hollywood Reporter have just broken a massive story in my world. Hopefully in your world if you're watching this too. The Last of Us is getting a TV series. Take note, producers of film and TV, this is how you do a game adaptation. You don't do a film. They very rarely work. I mean, Sonic's an exception. That's actually doing alright apparently. But a TV series is much more akin to the nature of a video game. Just putting it out there as well. If you need an actor, I'm possibly not a Joel with long hair, I'll cut it, but I'll play something else. I'll be a clicker. I love it. Most video game campaigns are at least 8 hours long. You're looking at Naughty Dog games, you're looking 12-ish. I'd say that's the average for my sort of run-through of a Naughty Dog game on the first run-through sort of thing. A movie's not going to get that. It remains to be seen whether the Uncharted movie will capture that. It's got a lot of talent in the casting, but I think a TV series format works a lot more for this. Looking behind the camera and looking at other things and actually knowing video games, this works. Let's look at The Witcher. The Witcher's obviously a reason why I think more producers and more production companies are going to take chances on this sort of thing now, because The Witcher has done really well on Netflix. People love it. People are demanding a second series. It's got that Game of Thrones vibe. I think The Last of Us is the perfect blend for this kind of content because of the universe. Now I know the comparisons are going to come in straight away between The Walking Dead, things like that. There's no getting away from that. There's no getting away from the fact that Walking Dead is a franchise. It is massive. It obviously produces different thoughts from people nowadays as we get into the latter stages. Some people have fallen off of it a little bit, but it is still, when you think of zombie TV shows, you think of The Walking Dead. But I've seen The Last of Us as a game world and the relationships within that game that could easily be explored within this format. The exciting thing about The Last of Us is it's not about always the good guys. Minor spoilers, I guess. But Joel doesn't always appear to be the good guy. And that's what I like about this. It's got that Breaking Bad vibe to it. We could go a very different way. There's a lot of people that watch Walter White in Breaking Bad and they were like, I'm rooting for that guy, even though he's a bit of a dick. I don't think Joel's that level of dick, but I think he does some very questionable things, and the whole point of that game is to make you think whether you are actually playing the bad guy, in my opinion. That's one of the takes I got from it because of the ending, things like that. Craig Mazin is the writer of Chernobyl, and he's been brought on to adapt this and write it, but the exciting thing is he's going to work with Neil Druckmann. We've not really seen this before. We haven't seen a game creator have such an influence in the process. It looks like from the article that they're going to be co-producing this, co-writing it. Neil's going to be able to tell his story, and then Craig's bringing in that exceptional Chernobyl series and that exceptional writing that's in that. He's bringing that talent to the party, and this is seeming like it could be very good. This is straight from the Hollywood Reporter's exclusive article. Quote, Mazin, who is said to be an avid player of the game, stated, Neil Druckmann is without question the finest storyteller working within the video game medium, and The Last of Us is his magnum opus. Getting a chance to adapt this breathtaking work of art has been a dream of mine for years, and I'm so honoured to do it in partnership with Neil. Druckmann is quoted as saying, From the first time I sat down to talk with Craig, I was equally blown away by his approach to narrative and his love and deep understanding of The Last of Us. With Chernobyl, Craig and HBO created a tense, harrowing, emotional masterpiece. I couldn't think of better partners to bring the story of The Last of Us to life as a television show. So they're all good friends, and they are going to write something quite exciting, I think. I don't know why. I usually see these things and go, oh, that's not going to work. But this one I've wanted for a while. It's rare. It's rare a video game thing like this gets announced. I'm like, that could be amazing. Probably getting a little bit too hyped here. In my opinion, Neil Druckmann is one of the best writers in the video game world, and I think he deserves this chance on the small screen. It's not really a small screen anymore, is it? Let's be honest, TV shows are overtaking things in a lot of ways. He deserves to get his story ideas in front of people who wouldn't perhaps pick up a video game, and I think The Last of Us is perfect for that. Whether they go the Joel and Ellie route, looking at the article, it's possibly going to follow the same story and they're going to go along those lines. You could tell quite a lot. There's a lot of lore in the story already with the Fireflies, Joel's past, things like that. The fact that we don't know about Last of Us 2 yet, we don't know what's going to happen in that, so it could be a blend. And by the time the second one's out, we've got much more to pull from in terms of lore in the video games. It's worth mentioning that HBO are also doing this. I wonder if they're going to shoot it on film like they shot Succession. Check the gate. I really like HBO's track record of recent. They've brought out some really good shows. Obviously, Game of Thrones is the massive one. And the fact that something that big is coming on with The Last of Us, Neil, and obviously off the back of Craig's Chernobyl. Oh, it's just exciting. I'm hyped about it, and I'm not going to even throw any negatives into that because I can't think of any currently. I know this will split some people. Some people wanted to stay fully away from games, but this is the way to do it, in my opinion. The Witcher was a good start. This could be even better. The announcement focusing on the Fireflies logo might suggest that we're going to get some lore heavily focused off the Fireflies, and the story might go more that way. Yes, the original story does involve a lot of the Fireflies, but maybe it'll be from the Fireflies' perspective, things like that. It'd be interesting to see what they did with this. The Fireflies are actually a really interesting organisation, obviously. Do you see them as good? Do you see them as morally grey? And I think that'll be something that's perfect for them to explore in a TV series like this. Or they could just stick to the game's plot exactly, and I'd be okay with that. For a start. It depends how long they want to run this for. Some more Sony news, PlayStation news. The news keeps coming today, apparently. The Ghost of Tsushima. I probably said that wrong. The trailer dropped for it today and the release date. I think this looks awesome. I am not a massive samurai fan, but I love Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch! And I love how the game currently looks from the bits of gameplay we can see in there. The look of it is amazing. I love third-person games, especially from PlayStation. People are saying they're making too many. Keep making them. I played them the most. I'm actually trying to stay away from this game a little bit too much. I'm trying not to look into it too much because it's one of the games that comes out this year. I've kind of gone on Last of Us blindness now for The Last of Us Part 2 because I don't want to know too much about it before I get my hands on it. I want to go into these games going, I kind of know what this is going to be about. We'll jump in. There's a lot of information on Ghost of Tsushima. I can't say it. There's a lot of information on that game. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not going to YouTube that and find the right pronunciation. We're just going to keep it in like this. Setsuna. No. No. Stop. But yes, if you want to be a samurai, you will get your chance on June 26th this year, which is sooner than a lot of people were thinking. People were thinking because it got pushed and things, would it be more of a PS5 launch title now? But we are getting it in summer, and this year is filling out nicely. There was a Resident Evil 3 remake stream last night. Looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to this game. I've got well back into Resident Evil. I was a Resident Evil 5 lover, don't all hate me. But I really enjoyed Resident Evil 2. The new game looks awesome. Just in case you haven't seen it, you can pop across and watch the stream on playback. It's worth watching. Just show the game off a little bit more. If you obviously want to go into it blind, don't watch it. That's common sense. But it's very visually impressive. The game looks absolutely stunning. And I think it might be one of those that I do a little bit of a series of on this channel because when it comes out, there's not much else as well. So it's perfect timing for me to sit and get into a Resident Evil again because they are a lot of fun, just very hard. And depending on where you play them, they can make you jump a little bit. I'm a bit of a nerd for sound design, which is weird because I'm using my backup mic for this video, so please ignore that. I do have a degree in drama, music and sound, but yes, all that audio engineering and I'm using a crap mic at distance, but it's content! The reason I bring that up is because I'm a bit of a sound design nerd and I like what I heard from the stream. They've really thought about all the audio in the Resident Evil games, and that's what gives the atmosphere in a game. If you think about it, when you're going through it, you want to feel the isolation. You also want to feel the terror when things come along. Resident Evil's quite slow-paced, the older ones. So when you actually come to those slow-paced bits, you can really feel it. You can hear things off in the distance, wondering what's that. And I think that adds to a lot of it. But then you get those really high dynamic sequences where you're up against it. And I think if they nail the sound design on that, which they seem to do with Resident Evil 2, and it looks this way with Resident Evil 3, very impressive, we could have a really good game on our hands there. But that is all I wanted to talk about today, guys. The Last of Us TV show could be absolutely amazing. Ghost of Tsushima also looks cool. And we've got some more information on Resident Evil 3, so there's been quite a little bit. What do you think on all of those things? Obviously, the big talking point today, for me anyway, is The Last of Us TV show. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's a good idea? Would you have preferred a film? Would you prefer for it to be left untouched? I don't agree with that one this time. It definitely is worth looking into. The fact they brought Neil on board for it says it all for me. They are treating this with care, and it could be something really special that comes out of PlayStation. But that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.